Hi everyone, this is Mani and welcome back to SK SecOps. Today, let us understand one of the important concept in Docker, which is the Docker networking. So let's get started. Before we understand Docker networking, we need to first understand what are these network drivers. So, network drivers are plugins or modules that determine how Docker containers communicate with each other within the Docker host and also with external networks. There are different types of Docker network drivers that include bridge, host, none, overlay, and also we have MAC VLAN and custom network drivers. Let's see some of these network drivers in detail. Let us first understand one of the default network in Docker, which is the bridge network. So in order to understand bridge network, let me take one of the node machine. So inside this node machine, I will be installing Docker engine. So when I install Docker engine, this helps us in order to build and run Docker containers. So let me create network of type bridge and I named it as myapp-bridge with the help of docker network create command. This command creates bridge network inside the Docker. Let us launch two Docker containers in this bridge network using Docker run commands. So within this Docker run commands, you can specify the bridge network name myapp-bridge for the network flag. So whenever you run these two commands within this bridge network, the two containers will be launched. One is the container one and the other is container two. I named container 1 as front-end application and the container 2 as the backend application. So the two containers are launched within this bridge network, but what type of problem this bridge network is trying to solve? So if you observe, the container 1 and container 2 will get unique IP addresses within this network so that the containers can communicate with each other. And let's see how the containers are able to communicate. Let me use one of the command which is docker exec in order to log in into the backend application. Now let's fetch the IP address of the container one. Either you can ping with the help of IP address of container one and or you can use the curl command along with the name of the container one. So in this way, the container 2 can communicate with the container 1. But how the developer can access the application that is running inside the bridge network? That's where publish port or port mapping comes into the picture. If you observe that the port 8080, which is node port, mapped to the container port 80, he can access the application in the browser by typing localhost colon 8080. Like this, he can access the front-end application in the local host machine. So let's understand the definition of bridge network. So it is a default network connect type that connects two or more containers on the same host, and it creates internal network on the host so that the containers can communicate with each other using private IPs. So this is about bridge network. Let's understand the next network in Docker, which is the host network. To explain host network, let me take one of these command. This command mainly uses nginx image and launches one of the container named front-end application. So within this command, the main focus area is hyphen hyphen network flag. So for this hyphen hyphen network flag, I have assigned the value as host. So when you run this command within the host network, container will be launched. So the main advantage of this host network is it uses the host network space and no IP address allocation is required for container. And other important point is the container port is equivalent to host port. The host network we can mainly see in the Linux servers, and also if you want to achieve in Windows Server, we can do some additional configuration settings in the Docker desktop. But how the developer can access the container or the application that is running in the host network. So the developer no need to specify any port mapping because the host port is equivalent to container port. So he can access the application with the default port of the container. So now let us understand the definition of the host network. So if you observe, the containers here do not have any IP addresses. They will be directly created in the system network, which will remove isolation between the host and the containers. But when do we really use this host network? If your application needs low latency and high network performance. Let's understand another type of network in Docker, which is the none network. So here I have taken one of the Docker run command, like how I have used for bridge and host network. So here I will be changing the network flag from host to none. And I am naming the container as isolated container and taken the image as alpine. When I run this command, a none network is created. So inside of this none network, a container will be launched. So here the container will not get any IP address allocation. And these type of containers are really useful in internal processing jobs like data parsing or cleanup tasks. Here the developer can he able to access the application that is running inside the none network. Answer is no. If you really concerned about the security, then we can use this none network. Let's understand the definition of none network. Here, IP addresses won't be assigned to containers, and these containers are not accessible from outside, also from any other container. That's all for this video, and thanks for watching. If you really like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel for further notification. Thank you.